Okay, guys, you ready?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
WRBR-FM South Bend. South Bend.
Boom. Give it to me. Make no mistake, they can be highly dangerous.
1039.
Who wants to hear some music?
Listen here.
The Bear.
All systems go here.
Local X begins now with your host, Kris Kelly, on 1039 The Bear.
1039 The Bear, this is Local X. I'm your host, Kris Kelly, and on tonight's show, local concert announcements as well as another Cheers Pub 2-drink minimum. But this first half of the show, we feature the band No Dead Heroes. I'll be talking to those guys right after this first track of theirs called Get Outta Here on The Bear. You'll rock 1039 The Bear. This is Local X. I'm your host, Kris Kelly. And on tonight's show, we welcome the band No Dead Heroes. Can I get you guys to introduce yourselves first and say what you do in the band?
Hey, I'm Ronnie DeCola. I'm from Chicago, and I play guitar and sing vocals.
I'm Frank Lombardo, drums.
I'm Gabe Lapari, play bass from Chicago.
We're all from Chicago. Our band's from Chicago.
How long have you guys been formed together for this band?
Right now, we're going on about 8 months as far as the band goes. Yeah, it's been about 8 months.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, 8 months, 3 shows, 1 album, and 50 T-shirts later, here we are.
Awesome. All right, so then how did you guys meet?
Frankie and I have actually, been friends for about, I don't know, say 15 years now, give or take. And we all work in the same practice space in the city. And it's on the west side of Chicago. But basically, Frank and I had run into each other there. And I maybe didn't see Frank for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, maybe at a random get together or a bar. And we ran into each other, hung out, and then I was like, hey, I got some tunes for you. And that transpired into him introducing us to Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's how it works. You run into your friends, you see what's going on, you talk about what projects you're working on, and it just randomly, he's like, listen, I have all this stuff done. I'm really hoping to put it together sometime. And, probably he handed it to 100 of his friends just because it was good stuff, and he wanted to share it, just like we all do with all our music all the time. And, musicians the world over, that's what we do. We make stuff and we share with our friends, and then we try to get it together. And it was awesome. We just loved it. And Gabe and I have known each other about the same amount of time. We've all known each other, 15, almost 20 years. And been playing together forever. And so I brought it to him, obviously, a bass player and a drummer. We've been locked in for years and years and years. We share our own room there, and we're in and out of all kinds of different projects. So it just kind of all fit together in the perfect storm. And, a month into jamming, we pretty much knew that this was going to be awesome. And I think just 2 months after we first started learning this stuff, we had our first little show. And just spread them out since then. And now we're looking forward to just a great 2017. I
think, Gabe, before you even heard any of this stuff, actually, I do remember Gabe coming in, Frankie saying, "This is my boy Gabe." And, I think you had a shoestring for, instead of a bass strap.
I wasn't prepared. Yeah, I knew they were getting together, and Frank played me a couple of the tracks, and I dug it. And I was like, and I've always heard of Ronnie. Like, we've crossed paths a long time ago, like back in high school, but not knowing each other. And then I just showed up, and they were getting ready to jam, and I picked up my bass, and it was,
it was there. So
Awesome. Okay, is there a story behind the band name, or was it just something that sounded cool during brainstorming?
Both. I think there's a story that it's just something that sounded cool while we were brainstorming, but there's a whole story of that moment where we decided that was the cool thing that was going to be our band name.
Okay.
It really doesn't mean anything, but it means all kinds of things, and that's what made it cool. And it does kind of fit the music. I think if any name could fit any music.
Originally, when this project, kind of had started, I was leaning towards Dead Connection as a band name, which is actually the last song on the record that we have out right now. But it was either Dead Connection or No Dead Heroes, and we just kind of, I know we kept on saying them back and forth, and No Dead Heroes just really kind of stuck with us, I think, oh yeah, on a t-shirt,
That's coming live from us to you.
All right.
With Local X on the air and online on Real Rock 103.9 The Bear. The Bear.
Local X on 103.9 The Bear. I'm still hanging out with tonight's featured band, No Dead Heroes. Okay, so you said you played a few shows. What would you say has been the coolest show that you've played and why?
You know what? We played 3 shows. I'm just going to say where they were at. One was at the Live Wire. That was our first show. That's in the city of Chicago. And our second one was in the basement of the Double Door, which I really had a great time playing that show. My buddy Mark, who plays in a band called Typesetter, was doing sound. So he kind of totally hooked us up, I think. And that was
Double Door, leaving that location.
Bye-bye.
They've been there for 30 years, I think.
I'm not sure. They might. I thought I heard something that they might be switching that around, but not 100%. But
so it's up in the air.
Rumored to be gone, but we all hope it actually gets to stay.
So our last show here was it's at Cobra Lounge, and I don't know. It's a toss up between. It was a fun show. It was really, really comfy on stage, and
being on that stage was special, and especially now with Sean gone, R.I.P. brother, one of the Chicago staples of the punk rock scene and all that stuff. It was a real honor to be able to play there, just because. I mean, every great band plays there, and we're a not great band that got to play there, but we're working on being great. So it was really, really awesome for me. It sounded amazing. I just bought a new drum set. I saved up for like the last 20 years to finally buy myself a new drum set. I got to put it on stage for the first time for the show. So for me, that was definitely the best. And we did. I think we played a really good.
Yeah, it was fun. We played together, and I mean, I think a lot of stuff is kind of new to me. I'm not used to being up in front of people playing guitar and singing, and I do feel that it is a lot more up close and personal and intimate, almost in a way. I could remember before our first show, the night before, I was thinking about all these cool things I wanted to do and say, and I was going to come out just guns a-blazing, and then when it actually came down to it, it was just it was a little nerve-wracking, for a show. So, but we're working into it. I mean, we practice almost, every Monday right now. I mean, just to get together. We've all become really good friends too. I mean, even tighter than before. I don't even know if we answered the question that she wanted us to answer.
What did you ask us? What was our favorite show so far? All of them so far. We only had 3, so they're all our favorites. They all have a special moment right now.
All right. So probably more shows on the list for your goals or plans for this year, but anything else going on that you want to, make sure you guys hit hard this year?
I think basically just right now, we don't really want to overdo anything as far as shows go. Sometimes I've noticed that, sometimes, like, especially in Chicago, that, people kind of like, it's fun to play and they want to get their stuff out there as much as possible. And I really think that's great. But I do think you have to kind of divide it up a little bit, be a little,
Get out of town is what you got to do.
Yeah, just get out of town a little bit and just make sure that the shows you're playing, you're prepared for and everything. But I think we might have a Minneapolis show coming up the 25th. My buddy Jesse might be hooking us up with a show up there,
which will be killer. That will be an amazing weekend because we're going to try to hit Madison on the way up, and we are very lucky to know the people we do know and all the great musicians and bands and booking agents and radio show hosts and everyone, really, seriously, because we all work this together to promote live music and to help great bands to get in front of audiences who want to see them. So this is what it's all about, and that is something. February, if we're lucky and it all works out, we'll have a 24th, 25th weekend, that weekend, and we'll be up Madison and Minneapolis, and that will be amazing. We will play our hearts out, and we got like 5 new songs we're working through right now, and by the middle of this next year, we'll probably have a whole new album ready to go, and it just keeps coming out of us, mostly out of Ronnie, and we keep being there to help put all the glue on it and make it work.
Well, I think simplicity sometimes with certain things and trying not to put too much icing on the cake is sometimes a better way, to do some stuff. So ever since actually we kind of, ever since we've decided that we're gonna be in this and do this together, not to overthink stuff. That's one thing. It's like I always think sometimes, somebody's first instinct is a good way to go, or if something feels good, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of deal.
All right. Well, I will post a link to your Facebook page on my Kris Kelly Facebook page, as well as the Local X Facebook page, so that the listeners can look you up easily and find all of your music and see all of your show dates coming up and get all the news. So thank you guys so much for coming in here tonight and being a part of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Local X.
Be afraid.
With your host, Kris Kelly, on 103.9 The Bear.
You know what that sound is?
Local X in progress with your host, Kris Kelly, on 103.9 The Bear.
Great news.
Did they solve global warming?
No, better.
What?
We didn't have to go far to get this rock. It's local. With Local X on Real Rock 103.9 The Bear.
It's a big cut!